The Deep was a superhero, a former member of the Seven and the Church of the Collective, also known as the Lord of the Seven Seas. The Deep may be stronger than the ordinary human being. He succeeded in knocking out 2 thugs without effort and managed to make one do a backflip in the air with a single uppercut. But that doesn't show more power than a typical martial arts skilled person. He is also capable of communicating psychically and of feeling all sorts of marine animals. His telepathy can also compel their obedience to his commands. He was very efficient in finding the body of Translucent and a GoPro camera from the debris of Flight 37 by communicating with marine animals. He also said that he had swum in the Mariana Trench, which has an 8-ton square-inch water pressure on the seafloor, or 1,000 times the standard atmospheric pressure at sea level. The Deep has a hybrid set of human lungs and aquatic gills that allow him to breathe underwater as long as he wants. His gills have shown that they are physically vulnerable if anything is shoved in them, which will cause him a great deal of pain. In the water, the Deep has shown to be quite fast. The Deep said he could survive even the depths of the oceans under enormous pressures. The longevity of the Deep has been oppressed many times. For example, when he fell on the sand from on top of a sperm whale, he was knocked unconscious. The fastest man in the world, a train. He has an unbelievably rapid, highly efficient metabolism. When exercising, he had to eat 3,000 calories per hour to keep up his stamina. He can view the world around him as though it was standing still while running at high speeds. During a fight with Starlight, he saw her blast of energy and was able to avoid it before she got a chance to hit him. A train can run at inhuman speeds and appears to viewers as a blurred motion flurry. When he was 3 years old, he first found out his power and he outran a bullet fired at him. In a matter of seconds, he can sprint across blocks of the town. Compound V further improved his speed, which has allowed him to beat Shockwave in the fastest man alive race, setting himself a new record. A train also has superhuman strength, and his strength helped him to slowly pull a multi-carrier trade train and blows and knock Starlight several feet through the air. Starlight. Since Compound V was used to improve his abilities, a train experienced a heart attack. As a result, he was not able to exercise as well as he was before. It's difficult for him to control himself as Robin Ward, Huey's girlfriend, was accidentally killed by him running into her. Although his strength and durability are indeed greater than humans, they are at the bottom of the spectrum of the soup. Kimiko did break his leg quite easily, and his body is vulnerable to attack. Translucent is the invisible superhero of the Seven because of the carbon metamaterial skin that bends light and bulletproof. A stealth master, he can creep around and deliver the surprise of a lifetime to the bad guys. Frenchie said that drowning him was impossible because it had been attempted and failed by Colombians in 2007. Translucent does not need to breathe when in his metamaterial state. Translucent has shown above average human strength, easily overpowering Butcher and Huey at the same time and effortlessly using a TV as a melee weapon. His blows also is incredibly powerful, sending Butcher skidding across the floor and his punches doing noticeable damage. Translucent has shown above average human strength, easily overpowering Butcher and Huey at the same time and effortlessly using a TV as a melee weapon. His blows also are incredibly powerful, sending Butcher skidding across the floor and his punches doing noticeable damage. Translucent cannot render other things to disappear, even though he comes into contact with it. Therefore, as he makes himself invisible, he must be nude. If not, he might give up his position. The clothes he wears will still be visible. Even though his skin cannot be penetrated by any known method, he can be stunned by sufficient force. For several seconds, he was stunned after being hit by a vehicle. Since his internal organs, including his brain, are identical to those of an average human, massive deceleration or impacts could kill him by causing his brain to collide with the inside of his skull. His carbon skin is highly conductive, rendering him particularly sensitive to electricity, but he can reportedly withstand enough amps to incapacitate a water buffalo while still causing him pain. His presence can be detected by those with enhanced physical senses, such as Queen Maeve. While he can make himself invisible, substances that can bind to his skin, such as blood, are not rendered invisible. As a result, if a substance clings to his skin, he may be detected. Another one of his weaknesses is that only his skin is indestructible, while the rest of his body is vulnerable like anyone else's. This means that weapons designed to harm a person internally can inflict serious harm or even kill him, and that's just what happened when Huey blew him up to bits and pieces. Queen Maeve is the ultimate role model for little girls all over the world as a warrior, a feminist, a humanitarian, and the second most powerful member of the Seven. Queen Maeve's primary ability is greatly enhanced superhuman strength, much greater than that of ordinary humans. Maeve is the world's second strongest, only being behind Homelander in terms of strength. Since the upper limits of her strength have yet to be shown, she has the potential to be equal to Homelander's general level of strength. She also can jump long distances. She was shown to be able to easily restrain Black Noir and overpower Stormfront, both of whom have super strength and endurance. Queen Maeve is resistant to nearly all types of physical injury, and her endurance is the most similar to that of Homelander of any known suit. Maeve was strong enough to withstand being struck by a speeding armored van, which split it in half. Maeve can reach speeds that allow her to run along building walls, defying gravity for brief periods. She was quickly able to overtake and pass a speeding armored vehicle when running in this manner. Queen Maeve's reflexes are equally enhanced, and she outperforms the best human athletes. According to Homelander, Maeve flung a Bic pen accurately into a man's eyeball from 78 feet away during a mission in Albany. Queen Maeve's stamina, balance, and body coordination are all improved to standards well beyond even the best human athletes' natural physical limits. She is capable of defeating several attackers at the same time with little effort. Queen Maeve is a formidable combatant who has received extensive training in hand-to-hand combat. Queen Maeve may also have extrasensory senses. Translucent was quickly detected by her, even though he was motionless and invisible in the ladies' toilet. Unless it's a regular thing, translucent do, so she just figured he was there. During physical exercise, Queen Maeve's musculature develops far fewer fatigue toxins than human musculature. She can exert herself at the maximum potential for around 24 hours before exhaustion sets in. One of Maeve's weaknesses is people. Despite being a member of the Seven and a hardened cynic, Maeve genuinely cares for people and aspires to be a true hero. She desperately tried to save the passengers on a plane, and it haunted her to see them perish. Another weakness of Maeve is soups with extreme strength can damage and kill her, but only a few are at this stage. Maeve has been scared of Homelander because she knows he is capable of killing her, but this may be due to his laser attack rather than his physical strength. Homelander is considered to be the greatest superhero alive, and he is the leader of the Seven, with the face of a movie star and the power of a god. Homelander seems to be resistant to all types of physical damage, making him the most robust of the Seven, if not all suits. As a result, he is not only bulletproof but even unfazed by explosions, such as when Billy blew up the Stillwell residence when he was inside. His incredible superhuman strength is one of his main abilities, as he is the strongest man in the world according to Jonah Vogelbaum and Stormfront. He possesses the most incredible strength ever seen, allowing him to easily overpower any opponent. He fractured a woman's spine as a child by hugging her. Homelander can fly at incredibly high speeds, fast enough to keep up with Steve's plane and wreck it. He even broke the sound barrier when he was an infant. Homelander has exceptional auditory sensitivity, allowing him to sense sounds from great distances. He can also use this ability to sense a person's pulse and blood pressure, as well as tell whether they are excited or nervous. Homelander has an incredible olfactory sense, well beyond that of a human. He was able to tell Huey and Starlight were scared and anxious by smelling that their adrenaline had risen. Homelander's endurance has been enhanced to inhuman standards. As a result, during physical exercise, his muscles contain almost no fatigue toxins. He can move at superhuman speeds or perform other superhuman feats for long periods without tiring or being frail. He can produce powerful heat energy from his eyes and project it outwards as high-powered energy beams. These energy blasts tend to be so strong that they can break through anything. He also used his heat vision to melt a thief's gun into the latter's hand. Homelander has the ability to levitate and propel himself at high speeds, enabling him to travel long distances in minutes. Homelander can see through any solid object or surface, except zinc-lined structures and surfaces. Homelander can zoom in on objects, enabling him to see distant objects, people, and surroundings. With all of that strength comes a slew of weaknesses, one of which is his carelessness. Homelander is often careless with his powers, especially his heat vision, owing to his general disregard for the lives of others. He is a mentally unstable person. His obsessive desire to be adored, combined with his complete lack of empathy and moral qualms about hurting, if not destroying people, suggests he suffers from narcissistic personality disorder and antisocial personality disorder. Because of his super hearing, he is sensitive to powerful, high-frequency noise. Ryan, his son, shares his father's weakness. Unlike Ryan, Homelander, however, can function despite the pain. Although the level of force required to potentially harm Homelander has not been determined, he has been affected by extreme force. Kenji Miyashiro, for example, has used his telekinetic ability to bury Homelander under several tons of rocks and rubble, including an entire bus, seemingly leaving Homelander unable to free himself for several minutes. He was unable to bring the hijacked plane to safety, implying that he is unable to use his full strength in flight, necessitating the use of a solid surface to fully exploit his ability. Stormfront joined the Seven after Translucent's death was made public, and she quickly became a competitor to Homelander until the two became lovers. Stormfront, in addition to her superhuman abilities, understands the social conventions of her current time and easily adapts to it to conceal her true political views and general insanity. She is well versed in social media and can use her acting skills to disguise herself as the most virtuous e-girl who is adored by everyone on social media. Stormfront was born and raised in Germany before moving to America, where she lived for decades, and has become fluent in both English and German. Stormfront is capable of producing strong plasma blasts. She can generate and control electricity by using charged particles, which she often employs in battle. These can take the form of electrical discharges, which are powerful enough to send fully grown adults flying backward with enough force to knock them through concrete walls. She has also shown to use them as a sustained blast of energy that incapacitates even supes while inflicting pain. Stormfront is capable of electrical telekinesis, also freely moving people or objects in any direction by charging them up. She could easily throw a car several meters with this power. Stormfront has the power to levitate and fly at high speeds through the air. She produces lightning discharges towards the ground during takeoff and landing. This suggests that Stormfront's ability to fly is linked to her plasma manipulation ability. Stormfront has shown to also have incredible physical strength. She has remarkable durability, as shown by her ability to withstand being repeatedly slammed into concrete walls during her battle with Kimiko and later with Homelander during their encounter. Stormfront has a limited but fast regenerative healing factor. Homelander's sustained laser vision wound began to heal almost immediately. However, it is unclear if she is capable of healing Ryan's critical injuries, which would necessitate regrowing severed limbs. Stormfront has a limited but fast regenerative healing factor. Homelander's sustained laser vision wound began to heal almost immediately. However, it is unclear if she is capable of healing Ryan's critical injuries, which would necessitate regrowing severed limbs. Although her skin appears to be bulletproof and highly tough, her eyes seem to be far more vulnerable. Stormfront may be vulnerable to piercing weapons, but her eyes are not impervious to stabs. Stormfront must build up enough energy to produce a plasma discharge, which takes time, but not much longer than a second. Annie January is as genuine and down-to-earth as they come. And as Starlight, the defender of Des Moines, all she's ever tried to do is save the world, and while many people dismiss it as a corny catchphrase, she means it. She can fire highly bright light blasts from her hands, which can also manifest as heat or concussive force. Her energy light can temporarily or permanently blind someone. She can even make her eyes and hands glow at will. Annie's eyes shine while she is in a state of intense pleasure. Annie has enhanced durability, allowing her to withstand 50 caliber bullets. Although she was in a lot of pain and bled a lot from the bullet, they didn't go into her body and she recovered easily, emerging unharmed a day later. Her skin is so tough that it takes a diamond-edged saw and a lot of force to penetrate it. Annie has enhanced strength, allowing her to comfortably execute one-handed chin-ups, punch holes in brick walls, raise the back of cars, and completely overpower her enemies. She is also proficient in taekwondo, boxing, and kickboxing. Annie has no strength to harness if there is no source of energy for her to consume. She was helpless while imprisoned in Vought Tower because there were no lights or electrical sources in the room. any power source for her to use had been drained by the EMP soup when she was out on a mission with the boys, making her powerless. Soups with greater strength than her, such as Homelander, Black Noir, Queen Maeve, and Stormfront, can overpower her and even kill her. Black Noir is the Seven's superpowered ninja. He is silent, stealthy, and mysterious. What lies behind Black Noir's mask is a total mystery, which only adds to his dread. Noir's body heals fractures and wounds at a much quicker pace than that of an average human. Whatever the damage, whether from several blasts, fire, and heat, point-blank bullet wounds, or being pelted with shrapnel, it appears to recover within hours or, at most, days. Black Noir is more durable than regular humans, allowing him to withstand Kimiko's superhuman strength without problem, while she was able to severely damage a train and even give him a compound fracture. According to Mother's Milk, Black Noir can outrun a car, but we yet to see that. He was able to slit a woman's throat quickly and grab a glass she was carrying before she dropped it. He ripped a man's head open by prying his jaws apart. With a single swipe, he knocked Butcher back several feet and pinned him up against a wall with one hand. His strength allowed him to overpower Starlight, tossing her around like a rag doll and smashing her through concrete. Black Noir has also shown remarkable, borderline superhuman acrobatic abilities, as shown by his confrontation with Frenchie and Kimiko. Black Noir has superhuman hearing, which helps him in his battle against crime. He followed Butcher from Becca's house and discovered the boys in a secret room when terror barked, revealing their location. Black Noir is either immune to pain or has built a high tolerance for it, as he does not react when Naquib uses his self-detonation, leaving him with extreme burns on his head and chest, or when Huey shoots through his hand at point-blank range. He has great skills in throwing daggers and using them in close combat. Black Noir is a specialist hand-to-hand combatant who has received extensive training in a variety of martial arts. According to his bio, he is a ninja and a deadly fighter who is skilled in martial arts and has been trained by a sensei to be a dealer of death. Black Noir has a tree nut allergy. Queen Maeve takes advantage of this by forcing him to eat an almond joy, allowing her and Starlight to escape. Soups of extreme strength can injure and kill him, but only a few are at this level. Queen Maeve has shown that she can easily subdue him and even force-feed him something. He is not immune to telepaths, but he is very unstable and prone to violent outbursts without provocation.